I've heard this saying over and over again that experience is the best teacher. I don't know whether I want to experience that it is in life before I learn. But over the years, I come to discover that when you learn from other people, you would reduce a lot of errors you make in life. My name is Dr. Victor Marcus, and today I want to discuss something important for people, especially younger people that are starting one career or the other. I want to speak today about asking questions. How important is that to your development? How important is that to your career development? How important is that to your personal development? Now, I have discovered when I was growing up that there are different types of knowledge. I want to read something. Let me just type it here. Um, tacit knowledge. Now, I just type it on Google and I have something here. It just says tacit knowledge is a personal knowledge, often unspoken, knowledge gained through experience, knowledge gained through intuition and practice, and is difficult to articulate or to transfer to others. It often differs from explicit knowledge, which is formal, written, and easily shared through documents and instructions. And sometimes, as career people, when we gone through schools and we have learned, we've graduated, we have a BSc, MSc, we have uh, whatever degree you can call. I mean, we just feel that we are prepared to uh, to continue our career journey successfully. But I discovered that there is a knowledge which is called tacit knowledge, which I just read now. Different from um, explicit knowledge. And this knowledge is not something that can easily be passed. So you can only gain this type of knowledge when you come close to someone. And I discovered that some of the interesting and things that will give you an edge over others are things that you can learn when you are very close to a person. And sometimes you have to go closer to them. I mean, often to be able to get that. And so some of us who are in the sciences, and particularly either these medical sciences or basic medical science, that you will have to go to the lab and spend uh, some time, maybe months, to be able to get a result. I mean, a reasonable result. You will definitely you will understand the importance of, working with a principal investigator, working with someone that is experienced. I remember my professor when I was uh, doing my master's thesis, and I was in the lab, and I will be surprised that after I have done something, when I take the result to him, and he will just look at it and say, Victor, the results are inconsistent. There's a problem. When you were pipetting, this is the problem. I mean, you could be able to look at the result and know where I have failed, or I know where I've made some mistakes. And that actually, at the beginning, I'll be amazing. I mean, this man is not in the lab with me. I mean, but he's able to understand. Now, that came by experience. And immediately I go back to the lab and I effect some of the observation and suggestions he has made. And I would discover that things would just, I would see the result actually falling into what we into. I mean, I would see good result. That's what I'm trying to say. And I learned over time to work very closely with him. So I consider him because he's not just a professor, he's old in age. By that time when he was supervising me, he has spent more than 30 years in teaching and research. So, but then I added a layer, not just only that I will allow him to point out some things that I'm not doing right. I began to ask him questions. I began to tap into his experience. Sometimes as he's explaining, I am listening, just not just beyond what he's saying. I'm looking at how he's explaining. I'm looking at so many things around him. I'm looking at the the zeal. I'm looking at the heart, the passion in which he was saying what he was saying. And I have learned a lot. And I discovered that if you want to improve, you want to go far um, in your career, you will have to be one who asks questions always. Even if you have an idea about something, you want to know uh, whether the person, because somebody can share the same idea you think you have in another way, and it will you will have more light, more understanding even in that area. So don't joke with asking questions. Don't joke with asking questions. I remember he's the same person when I started as an assistant in the department, and I spent a lot of time asking questions about the career, the lecturing career, about research, about life general, about relationship with other colleagues. How do I handle the delicate relationship in the department, among others in the university? Ask him a lot of questions about life, about writing grants, about seeking funding, about many other things. and and I was writing because those questions that I asked him, I did not just ask him haphazardly. No, I ensured that before I sought for an appointment with him, I wrote the questions, I thought through them because I was very critical and very deliberate in how I was asking my questions because I want to learn. I want to learn because I'm just starting out in my career. And then there is someone who has spent over 30 years. I want to tap that 30 years experience. And through living closely with him, I was able to tap a lot of knowledge which um, I will call tacit knowledge, and actually give me an edge over many other people who who will just go online, which is very important. You can go online and read, but then there is a knowledge many of the younger people are missing because they are not coming closer to older people who have experience, who have better they have stayed for a long time in the what you are hoping to achieve. They have achieved it. So by coming closer to them and asking them questions is going to help you a lot. And that's my advice today. If you're a younger professional, if you are a student, PhD student, master student, at whatever level, I mean, you need to develop the habits of asking sensible, interesting questions that will help you out with a lot of things. And that you will see that you will have an edge over others. And that is what I think many younger people I see today are missing out. And it's beyond just what you will just get anyhow. You have to develop relationship with the person you are asking question. I remember my first year in the university when I was doing my undergraduate. So this thing I'm telling you is not today I adopted it because I've seen the fruit of 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 asking questions. And I came into the university And then I said, okay, there are people who were ahead of me. So I looked at the best student in each of the phases or levels. At 200 level, because I was in 100 level, at 200 level, I went to the best student, and I asked questions about about what he understood about biochemistry, what about the lecturers, who how just I was asking him about the attitude of the lecturers. I mean, not actually like judgmental, like no, because I want to know how to respond to each lecturer differently based according to who they are. So I wanted to find out a lot of information about lecturers, what they want and how they want, and what the person I've already learned so far in the department. So I asked a number of questions, and that same questions I asked the best student as well, who was in the third year. I mean, so because of that, I look at those best students, and that's another important thing. You don't just go asking any kind of a person. You want to ask people who you have seen they have result. People who are in what you want to achieve, people who have achieved what you want to actually see yourself achieving. And so you don't just go asking all kinds of questions. Sometimes I hear my student come, sir, and we heard that this course is hard. And I asked them, who told you that it's hard? He said, they said, who are the they? That's where the problem normally starts, because when you just hear things either by rumor or by just some people who are not serious, you understand, I mean, it's really going to be tough for you, because you are seeking questions from the wrong place. You're seeking questions. It's just like dialing a wrong number, because when you dial a wrong number, you're not going to get any response. Or even if you get any response, you get the response that has been pre-recorded for everybody to listen, for everybody to hear. So the point I am trying to make is that seek and ask question from people who have resolved, from people who have experience, from people who have something tangible to show for their effort. People who are serious, people who see better, people who are moving in the direction you want to see. And that's my advice for people, especially younger people who are starting up their career, professionals who are younger. Seek knowledge, seek to ask questions. Don't stay in assumption. Just go and ask questions. Develop better relationship with people, because the more people understand that you are interested to learning, especially I acknowledge that it's not everybody that is going to open up to you, because I have found I've discovered many lecturers, many professionals who hold knowledge, and that's true. Remember, you want to. That's why I said it's not from everybody you are asking. You will ask question from, and then that's why you will have to sit down and look at the people you want to ask question from. Do they really desire people to progress? Is their intention positive towards developing others before you even in the first place actually approach them? And I think if you do that, it's going to help you in your career. But don't, don't, don't stay in assumption. Don't, um, uh, don't desire to walk in ignorance. Understand? Don't walk in doubts. Always confirm information. Always ask questions. You will be able to get a very important, and by the way, always desire to go close, you understand, because you want to establish a relationship with the people you are asking question. Give them their respect, let them know that you honor them and you want to learn from them, and thereby you will see that they will open up so much to you. And an important knowledge you're going to learn from them is that knowledge which I mentioned earlier on, that knowledge that is called the tacit knowledge, that knowledge that is much more personal. Often it is unspoken, most times it's not documented, and these are knowledge that those people have gained through experience, through learning, through practice, through intuition. You understand? You will see that they observe salient things, an important point that will give you an edge in life. You understand? Which not necessarily, they are not in textbooks, they are not in newspapers, they are not, it's not something that can easily be documented. That's the reason why the issue of asking questions is very important. I believe you have get some some value out of what I said. Please consider sharing, and as well consider also giving me a comment. I want to know what you think about what I said, and whether you have done that before, and how have you uh, learn out of what did you learn from the practice of asking questions? What did you learn about coming closer to experience people, from people who uh, uh, have achieved a lot, and you are coming around them? What have you learned? I want to hear what you have learned, and I guess also other people want to know what you have learned, and together we'll be able to build a very um, wonderful community that will be learning from each other. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.